yeah, I can. Yes, let me bring you on. Just a minute.
We live.
We are okay.
Yeah, you
All right,
have to be
everyone.
introduced.
Welcome to the meeting in the ladies' room. We have Mr. A. We're gonna bring on in a few moments A. Page Turner, aka Deuce. You've
Yes.
seen him on the Country Wayne skits. He's also a retired warrant officer, 5A, who honorably served 28 years in both the United States Army and the United States Navy before
Mm.
retiring in 2019. He made history as the first African American to achieve the rank of CW5 in the Army's Transportation Corps, reaching the highest level of the warrant officer ranks through decades of leadership, logistics experience, and service to critical national missions. Without
All
any
right.
further ado, Mr. A. Page Turner.
Woohoo! All right.
Welcome to the meeting in the ladies' room.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
tonight we're just gonna have like a casual conversation. I'm going to ask a few questions. We're gonna have Miss Von Voice Views is going to be our online moderator tonight. We're gonna have a brief intermission in between the show. In the interview, we just gonna treat it relaxed. We family here, and at the end we will take questions or what have you. So welcome to everyone who has joined the chat. All right. No introduction. First of all, thank you for your service, Mr. Turner.
Hey,
Thank you.
proud,
Thank you
Um,
for your service.
proud to serve.
yes. So I want to first off, so Vaughn, I'm going to take you off for now, and then we will be back at intermission. Thank you, Vaughn. Okay. All right, Mr. Turner. So for those of us, who is a page Turner, when the cameras are off and in your everyday life, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hey, hello everybody. My government name is actually Rich Turner. My author name is A. Page Turner because everything I write is a page turner, right? So everyone,
Amen.
especially in Atlanta, knows me as Deuce from the Country Wayne skits, right? I play Melissa's father. So who am I when the cameras are off? I'm still building. I spent 28 years in the military, like you said, solving complex problems, leading teams, mentoring soldiers and sailors throughout my tenure, right? So I tell everybody I got two biological kids with daughters, they're grown women now, but I got about 3,000 kids that I mentored in some way, somehow I have guided them throughout their military career. Uh, and always building even when the cameras are off. I'm writing, I'm thinking about other stories that is meant for us. um and my goal isn't to just create content. My goal is to create opportunities through my content to build generational wealth for everybody that's in my circle, right? Because it's never about me. It's always about somebody else. I pay it forward. And, through the military, they always say, take care of your soldiers. So now that I'm out of the military and I'm on a global situation, I want to take care of as many people as I can.
Thank
Ooh, you frozen. I can't hear you.
Just a moment. I'm sorry, had some technical difficulties. How did you come to the Country Wayne skits?
Well, nothing but God, right? So when I had just finished filming the Emancipation of Limits, I said to myself, man, I really need to get exposure. Like, people need to know who I am. So once I started introducing my content in my film, they know me. 2 days after I made that statement, I got a DM on my IG from a young lady by the name of Keisha, and she asked me, "Did I want to be a part of the Country Wayne skit?" So I immediately thought it was a scam. I looked at it and just blew it off, right? So about 2 hours later, T Hustle, who's also in the skits, asked me the same question. Then I started investigating, and he said, "Hey, you want to be a part of the Country Wayne family?" And I said, "Yeah, without a doubt." And that was like in late September, early October. They flew me out, and I did my first skit in prison when I talked to Hollywood, Trill, and Melissa and Mike. Mike West was like, "Man, you perfect, right?" So I've been rocking with.
Okay. And how much of Deuce is truly you, and how much of the performance is storytelling?
Well, a lot of Deuce is me, and I'll explain it to. So Deuce, his background was he was a this big drug dealer in Atlanta. He was huge. He was known. So anybody who does that, you could be a CEO of any company, right? Drug dealers who run an enterprise that big. So definitely, I would say him being an alpha male, which he really shows, his leadership skills, his know-how, and Deuce really, you know, the only difference is we're just shaped by different environments. Uh, what makes him powerful is just not him surviving, but his strategical thinking and how to change what survival looks like, right? So no one gave me a backstory of Deuce, so I had to build a backstory. So in my mind, he came from nothing, and he was kind of forced into the game in order to eat, in order to live, built this big empire. So I would say definitely his leadership, his thinking ability, and the ability to just get things done, and take care of his family.
Now, this is a question I would like to ask. The different. I'm always. I have a very overthinking mind, and I would think, okay, if I were in Skitland, and a lot of the commentators and a lot of the fans think the same, I would make the storyline end up like this or like that. If you were a writer of this storyline, and you could would you flip the script or leave it the same? What would be your vision for the ultimate story? Like if you were had the writer's pen.
Um, Yeah, so if it was me and I was writing my storyline, I would change a lot of things, right? So this is no knock to the writers of Country Wayne. This is no knock to uh, that establishment at all. But for me, um, I think that. So let me give you a story. So remember when the Cosby Show dropped way back in the '80s, and he was a doctor, his wife was a lawyer, they had 4 kids, and they were like 4 or 5 kids, and they were just like they were really doing it. I think at that time, uh, black people really didn't believe that that was possible because the way that we were living in the '80s, you just didn't see that, right? So it was kind of hard to accept back then. So when you fast forward now, we need that. We need to see really, really doing it. We need to see it. So if I was to write the skits, it's okay to come from the bottom. It's okay to be coming out of prison. But for me, I would write the story to where you see an advancement. Can you hear me?
Out for a second.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Your screen went out, Deuce.
Mm-mm, can't hear you.
We're just having a little technical difficulties here. We'll be right back with you guys. Please
Okay.
pause for a brief intermission.
And come back in.
Okay, no problem. So we hope everybody's having a good night out there tonight. Welcome to the meeting in the ladies' room. We have none other than Mr. Richard Turner, but also known as A. Page Turner. This is a meeting in the ladies' room, not to be read. And he's going to come back out and come back. Go back out and come back in tonight. If you're in the comments, give us a shout out. Where are you? Where are you watching from tonight? Okay, he's back in the studio. Just a minute. All right, here we go.
Okay, we back.
And let me delete this one, remove. Just a second, you guys. All right. Okay, let's take this one off. All right, here we go. All right, he's back.
All right, I'm back. I'm back.
Yes.
Let me continue. So I don't know what you didn't hear or where I left off at. What's the last thing you heard?
You were going into about the back in the show back in the 80s or what have you compared
Right.
to now. I guess you can like pick up on that part.
Okay, so yeah, definitely when the Cosby Show dropped in the early '80s, Bill Cosby and well, Cliff and Claire Huxtable, he was a doctor, she was a lawyer, and I don't think it was really believable for us. We looked at that and was like, man, that ain't even realistic because it was something that I believe back then that we didn't believe that we could like really reach to that
Mhm.
family because our culture was systematically broken down. So I think now we want that. We want to see that. We want to see black people making it. We want to see black stories being told that have a successful ending. So if I was to rewrite the scripts, Deuce and the family would like you would see them go from living in Trail's house to making it, getting their own house, and just building as a family. Definitely, I would definitely stop how black women are portrayed in negative lights. I would bring a little bit more positivity to it. Um, I just think that's something that we need in this day and time.
Thank you. And you went off screen again, but we were able to hear what you said.
Okay,
So yeah, the screen is black again,
as long as the voice is
but
there.
it's okay. We can still hear you though. Do you need a second? It's still showing like a black screen.
No, it looks perfectly on where I'm at.
Vaughn, can you see? Can you see him? Hold on, I'm bringing you on stage. Hold on.
No, we can't see him.
Vaughn, is it black on your screen? Let me see what this is doing. Hold on, let me add
We
you to
can't see
Vaughn so
him.
I can see. Is it?
You can hear me, but can't see me.
Yeah.
We hear you perfectly. Yeah.
You can see him, Vaughn?
No, she just said she can hear me.
Okay,
No, but
just
I
a
can't
moment.
see him. We can hear him, but we can't see him.
Okay. Vaughn, I just added you on there. Can you show me on your screen? Okay. So I can see you on your, yeah, we can't see you.
That's
Let's
okay. We're gonna get it right.
yeah. Just a
We
little bit of
gonna get
technical
it.
difficulties, y'all. We gonna be just fine.
That's what happens when we go live.
Yeah,
Anything can
hey,
happen and
anything
anybody
could
can
happen.
show up.
But
Hey,
the
anything can happen.
the show must go on.
The show must go on.
So as we're figuring out, because we can still hear you.
Okay,
Um,
Yeah, we
let's
can
keep
hear you good.
rocking.
yeah, okay, let's keep hey, the show must go on. It's okay, so you brought up a good point, and I want to kind of hone in on that. How do you feel women are currently portrayed in the skits and digital storytelling, not just with the Country Wayne skits? How do you feel? How do you see the female characters grow, or how can they be represented differently? I know that's a loaded question, but um, love to know your thoughts on that.
Well, I would say if I were had the skits and I was creating this visual, um, man, this it's a lot to take in. So I would say this: uh, black women are the most disrespected. Black women are the least protected. Um, and I said this before, black women lead in deaths in hospitals and after being discharged. So I think that we have to take a
Mm,
different direction when we're presenting our black women to the world, right? We're more, uh, and everything that walk on 2 feet in this world come from a black woman, right? So I would
Amen.
say, moving forward, we have to be really careful how we present our black women to the world. So for
yes.
me, I would love to put black women in a more of a professional light and not just sex objects, not just, strippers, not just bouncing from one person to the next. I just don't think that's something that our culture needs right now, right?
Hmm.
And the fact that, unfortunately, we have a lot of single mothers that are raising sons and so on and so forth. So we have to kind of shield that the best way that we can by projecting black women to be better than what's being shown, right? It's
Mm,
cool. I'm a fan of weave. I'm a fan of the eyelashes, long as it looks right. But that's not the only thing to our sisters, right?
yeah.
Our sisters are the backbone to the families, and I think that we need to glue that back. And if you go to the 70s, and even like really in the early 80s, you've seen the black family striving. And I think the message of, don't date a woman who has children. We did that in the 70s and we were okay. You know what I'm saying? So I think that social media has really put a separation through black men and women. You go on social media, we're the only race that you see podcasts bashing women, podcasts
Hmm.
bashing
Mm,
men. We need to stop that because at the end of the day, you got daddy issues, I got daddy issues, and I got baggage that I bring to a relationship just like you do. And I think the answer to that is we need therapy, right?
Hmm.
amen.
Individually and as a couple. So I just
Yes.
think that the narrative for black women has to change and it has to be in a more positive light.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yes, and as a single black mother, I thank you for that because I think society has lost that and lost touch with just the plight of the black woman. We are more than our hair. We are more than our outfits, our nails. We are more than laying on our backs. And I pray that in the future that we get more to a society that shows that other side because I truly believe that the black woman is the backbone of a lot of businesses of the black man, but we're not seeing that a lot. We're being portrayed as gold diggers. We're being portrayed as somebody who needs a man, and I do believe that a woman is supposed to follow her man as if he's following Jesus, if he's following God. But at the same time, like I tell everybody, I have to go into my interview. I don't want to be independent. I really don't.
Mhm.
I mean, I want to be an independent. Like when I went to college, my thing was I wanted to go to college, get my degree, which I did. But I really wanted to be back then an at-home mom. I wanted 5 boys and 5 girls because my
Ooh, no.
grandmother she had 18, and so I wanted that family structure. But life didn't turn out that way. Um, so I'm glad I had my education to fall back on, to be
Mm.
able to support myself. But at the end of the day, we are so much deeper than what we're portrayed, not even just in skits, but just in society, period. We're not all angry black women. We are women who are holding down our families and our households. So I thank you so much for that point of view.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that
like to
was
add
that
just
was
two points to that, right? So a lot of like I said earlier, a lot of men won't date women with kids, and I think that's an injustice to our community because even though their dad is not in their life, I think it's our due diligence to connect the community. It's a due diligence to raise that young boy to a man. So I don't understand where that came into play. Yeah, he'll never like call you dad, and he'll always have a connection to his true father. And there ain't nothing that I
Hmm.
can do to outshine his dad because that's blood. But
Yeah.
as a community, that young man need to be raised up. To the
Hmm.
point I want to make, I was watching the movie with Tiana Taylor the other day, and good movie, but she was so sexualized. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
was to the point, it was like Jesus. You can tell it was almost like it was a ritual to where she's bouncing in between these two men, and I'm just like, man, this is not the message. You know what I'm saying? And even though she was doing it for the
Yeah.
cause or whatever, I just didn't like the sudden shots of her rear end and her breast and her lips. And I truly felt that they did an injustice to black women because black women are more than that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen. That was good.
Do you feel like you kind of touched on some of these things, but do you feel that black cinema and storytelling today are evolving, repackaged in a different way? What stands out the most? And you've kind of already said that about now and then. I mean, it was a question, but you kind of already kind of alluded to that. Or do you have
No.
anything else that you would like to add
Oh,
to, now
100%.
versus then?
Yeah, 100%. And it's now it's then and still then, right? So I think we are evolving creatively. That's
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt. You got Ryan Coogler, he's doing
Mm-hmm.
drama, he's doing sci-fi, he's doing this, but a lot of our black creators, ownership is still the next frontier. So we can create all we want, but if we don't own it, and we don't own that intellectual
Mm.
property, what
Mm-hmm.
is our community missing from that? What that generational wealth that we're never getting. So the real shift happens when creators control not just the story, but what the story builds, right? So if people don't know, say, I was gonna take the Emancipation of Limits and just say Prime Video Stars or Hulu or whatever, say, oh, we love it, we're gonna green light it. So the first thing they do is they buy the intellectual property from me. So they basically take the rights to my creativity, and then once they take those rights, they're going to give me some change, right? But they're going to
Mm-hmm.
put it on and they're going to benefit from everything. So Power for 6 years and all the other television shows they had bounce off of that, it grossed $1 billion, right? And just think
Wow.
this, it grossed $1 billion, but Ghost, who was the face of Stars, only got 150,000 per episode,
Mm.
right? So you
Wow,
see
did
the
not know that.
difference? Yes. So we need to take ownership now and not sell off what we create. We're the most creative beings on this planet. Everything exists because of black people. But we're taking what God given us, that talent, and we're selling our souls and we're giving it to somebody for just a quick buck. And I think the reason of that, we take the money because we're built for we're built for survival and not service. So what that means is, hey, we're going to take that quick money and we're not going to get all of the money we deserve to be able to serve our people. So if we
Mm,
have Jay-Z and all these other billionaires that are African American, where's the black hospital? Where's the chain of black schools? Where's the black banks? We should have black banks popping up all over the place because we have several people that look like us who has a ton of money, but we're built for survival and not service.
mm. That's powerful.
Mm.
And that's a great segue into the book, the author, the Emancipation of Limits.
Hmm.
Vaughn did the research and development, and then I'm gonna give Vaughn has the book here, and it's could you introduce the book for us, Vaughn, and what you got just from the first chapter of the book, and then we're gonna go into Mr. Turner. We're gonna go into your vision for it, and what is your vision for the Emancipation of Limits, and what is the message, the impact? What do you want this project to leave with people? So, Vaughn, take us off.
Listen, y'all, listen. This book, The Emancipation of Limits, is just as Mr.
Ooh, I
Turner's
can't hear her. I
handle
hope
is
everybody
a
can hear her.
page turner. This is a page
Yes, we
turner.
can.
Listen,
Okay.
find somewhere These first few pages, the B. That's all I got to say. Y'all have to get this book. It's every page takes you higher and higher and higher and deeper at the same time. I mean, you get just so engrossed with the characters and the building of the characters and the introduction of the characters. It's truly a page turner. I don't want to get into the whole thing of it, but I'm telling y'all, get this book. I got mine from Amazon, but I know Mr. Turner has a website that you can go to. The name of the book is can y'all see it? The
The Emancipation of Limits.
Emancipation of Limits, and
And I will
it
be
is
posting this the link to the
it
book
is
on the page so you can get
bomb.com.
Mr. Turner, is there an audio to it as well for us who like the audio when we cleaning up the house and things like that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm about 65% done with the audio book, and it'll be released in probably less than 2 weeks.
Oh, great.
Hmm.
That's it. Okay, so now I'm going to
I'll
get
drop the
into the
name in the comments.
okay. So now I'm going to get into what is your vision for the emancipation of limits? Give us the details on it. What message or impact do you want this project to have? And you guys, I also have the link to the teaser on my page as well. But the emancipation of limits.
Okay. So, do you mind if I kind of go back and give people a history of what the book is
Sure.
about so they can kind of understand? So,
Yes.
the emancipation of limits, right? So, that word emancipation is a word that is very true, near and dear to our heart. It's called, emancipation means to be free of limits, meaning that we're freeing ourselves from that proverbial ceiling that is placed upon African Americans in America. So we can only reach to a certain plateau, and then we hit that glass ceiling, and then we bounce back down to where we come from, or they never let us get above that ceiling. So the emancipation of limits. So it's a story about a military man that been around the world, and everywhere he went, he noticed people of color lack vital resources when it comes to banking, when it comes to medical, when it comes to education, when it comes to real estate, and he's seen this firsthand. So his last assignment as a drug counter officer in Belize, he found out that the United States was partnering with cartels and using profits from the drug game, but flooding the urban areas with drugs. So what he did was he warned the cartel that the U.S. was going to invade them, and in turn he got into the drug game. And what he did was use the profits to recreate Black Wall Street in Chicago. So when I wrote the book, it's a series, and I wrote it in reverse chronological order because I'm a huge fan of
Mm.
Star Wars. So I wrote the last book first. So in this book, he got black banks, he got black schools, he got black hospitals, he got strip malls, casinos, he got the black dollar circulating in the community for 10 days and not 6 hours. So I wrote the book in 2020 during COVID because I was bored, didn't know how to write a book, self-taught myself how to write a book. I sold it. I did a book trailer, which is, when you go see a movie, you see the previews of other movies that's coming out soon. So I did that, put it on Facebook. In 2 months, I almost had like 400,000 views. And what everybody said from
Wow.
that was, man, when is the movie coming out? So I end up going into trucking. I bought a couple, 18 wheelers, ended up having four, did it for 3 years. I made some good money from it, but the book was just calling me to kind of push it forward. So I self-taught myself how to write a script. I did that, wrote a pitch deck, took some acting classes, and from that, last year um, I filmed the pilot for the film. So I did that in April. And then I got the attention of Film Hub. Film Hub loved it. They said, hey, we want to see the series. So right now I'm trying to crowd fund to get money to shoot season one because I want to own my IP, right? So move forward with the vision that I want to have with the Emancipation of Limits film. My vision is to create a story that doesn't stop awareness. It moves towards a solution on how we get back to Black Wall Street. How do we pull together, take our resources, and start building for us, right? I wanted to show what
Amen.
happens when someone uses strategy and resources to rebuild a community again from the inside out, like it was in 1921 in Tulsa. So for me, stepping away from the networks and depending on us to fund my vision, not only will it give you executive producer rights, it's something that we can say that's ours, and it's something that we can take the proceeds and build a hospital for Black women, build schools for Black children, get into real estate, and get into so many different things to recreate what our ancestors did in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921.
Hey, man, wow. So this
And I,
this book, I mean, how many volumes is it? This the last book first that you were telling us, right? This is last book first. So how many books is coming? I got it upside down. How many
mhm.
books is coming after this?
Mr. Turner, are you there?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
y'all hear me?
Yes. She was asking, is there like going to be a series
How
of
many
books
books
or?
coming after the Emancipation?
Yes. So I wrote the series to be 6 seasons, right? So that's what you're going to see on television, and I will be releasing more books. So the book that you actually have is actually two books combined in one. I just put it together,
Mm.
352 pages, I believe it is, and yeah, there are more books to follow. But I'm just focused on film because I think um, I have a better chance of influencing and rallying the troops, as we say in the military, to get on the same sheet of music.
Well, brother, I'm definitely
All right. Can y'all hear me? Put
I
a
can't
one
hear
in the
you.
chat if you can hear me, because I think Riri has frozen. Mr. Turner was just speaking. We have with us live tonight in the ladies' room. We have
Nope, you
Rich
guys'
Turner,
screens are frozen. You want me to
aka
go out and
a
come back
Page
in?
Turner, a Riri frozen.
moment, y'all. We having technical difficulties.
Okay,
Just
I can hear
Not
you
it's
now.
coming.
not
It's
your screen is still back, but Riri is frozen.
okay. It's coming back now.
You back,
Yeah.
Riri?
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Yes, I said I definitely hope that someone sees this vision. I know even 50 Cent just started his new studio in
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a great story and it definitely needs to be told to help rebuild, our communities. It's just a great concept in a world of, we've had enough of, again, I watched all the powers and the ghosts and I watch all the skits, but we need something also with substance to just help rebuild and help our people to go to the next level.
That's fact.
So, the question I have: do you feel your gift is simply a career, or do you have a? And you kind of already answered this one. Or is it a deeper calling tied to your purpose you feel through your acting?
Um, Man, that's a really good question. So I would say for me, my it's a gift from God, and the way everything is falling into place is just crazy. Like I know God got His hand around this project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would say, hmm, that's a really good question. So being in the military, and I said this earlier. I have two biological kids, but I have about 3,000 that I mentored throughout my military career and still connect with them, give them advice and make sure they're good. I think because of the work that God's seen me do in the military, He blessed me with this gift. He blessed me with everything that's surrounding with what I'm doing to do what I'm doing on a global scale, right? Outside of the combines of what the military is, and to rally the troops to get our people on the same accord to move as one and not be separated like the system is designed for us to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In your quiet moments, Mr. Turner, aka Deuce,
Hmm.
when there's no audience and no performance, who are you? Like, who would you like people to know you are?
I'm a builder. I'm a creative. I'm a dad. I'm an advisor. I'm a mentor. I am I tell authentic, good black stories. Um, and I love my people. Right. I think that's the one thing that I want to get across, that I love black people. I love all people, right? But of course, black people, black women, my mom, I love black women. I love our creativeness. I love our swag. I love our um, just how we lead in everything and what we've built, what our ancestors done. And you got to respect it. So I think I'm put on this earth to bring us together and do something that is, this is an unorthodox way of going about getting the television show pushed. And I think because of my military history and what I've done, that God built me for this. And, like Noah built his ark, I'm going to build mine the same way.
Amen. Okay, we're gonna get into the, we always, anytime we have alpha males on the show, we like to ask certain questions from a male perspective for other ladies in the group. From your perspective, do you think men today understand how to lead emotionally, or is it mainly financially?
I think we're taught to lead financially, right? Be a man. And leadership means more than just the financial aspect of it, right? It means vision, it means protection, it means accountability, and and this word is probably the most important. It means presence, right? You have to be there. And I think
Mm.
um, most men who provide these things are already married, right? And if you really look at the stats, they would tell you that there's a lot of single black mothers and the men are not in the families. 80% of black men are married and raising their kids. 80%. But they won't tell you that. And if you look at television commercials, it's always, especially the car commercials, it's always a black woman and a white man, right?
Mm,
Whatever commercial that you look out there, they never really show black couples. So we're being torn apart and we're being shown that, hey, this is really how it is in black America, and it's really not. But and I will pose this question to women too. So a lot of women would say that black men are not emotionally available or emotionally there. And so many times you hear when a black man is emotionally there, it could be challenging for a black woman because sometimes it holds that mirror to you.
mm,
So sometimes you want, a man that is, have emotional leadership, but when you get it, you don't know how to deal with it because so
mm,
long our men has just been on the financial tip.
Mm.
mm. That's
Mm.
deep. Vaughn, you want to take that question? Boy,
Good
I have
question.
that was a loaded one. Do you feel that women are able, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Turner, you're
Mm.
saying are we able to deal with an emotional, a man with emotional strength versus financial
Mhm.
strength? Like if he leads with having those emotional intelligence that we say we want, can we handle it when a man is emotionally intelligent and able to connect with us from that regard? because some of his
100%.
weaknesses could be a reflection of us too. I added that in there, but
I mean, it's true. And you know what emotional intelligence from a man means accountability for a woman, right? We're
mm,
going to hold you accountable for being the backbone of this family, right? So when you get a man who's just not bringing home the money and paying the bills, now his expectation of what he wants for you is different and it may be elevated. Are you able to accept that? Are you able to give up control to a man? Are you able to let him
mm.
lead? Are you willing to? Yeah, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, especially if you've been a single mom doing it all by yourself, and you may have some disgruntled feelings about men, right? Are you able to give up that control to a man and let him lead?
I would say 10 years
I
ago, no, but
believe
at
it's
this
just like
at this age, I would. Amen. I'm tired of doing everything.
I believe it's just like what you said, how a man was
Oh,
taught to
she's
come
saying
up
something, but I can't
being
hear
the
her, so you're gonna have to
financial.
relay.
Start over, Vaughn. He couldn't hear you. It was a little static.
Can you hear me
No,
now?
I'm not. I'm just seeing her lips moving. So whatever she says, just repeat it to me, please.
Can you hear me,
Okay.
Riri?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Okay.
Okay, it'll
Yes.
come back in the replay. Um, just like Deuce was saying, a man being raised to be financially the financial breadwinner. I
Hmm.
believe most women, is speaking from experience from my mother, taught us to be independent. And I always had this saying coming through, blame my mama for how I am. Because I was
Okay.
always very independent. From my first marriage, I learned that I didn't allow my husband to lead. And he was like, say, even if the lights went off, allow me to lead because I would jump so quick. And as far as the question, could a woman handle an emotionally intelligent man? That ties in there because we are taught men don't cry, men don't do this, men, they don't show emotion. So when a man shows up emotionally intelligent, being able to, factor all his emotions in and out and show up his real self instead of having to, suppress that stuff. A lot of women may cannot handle it. But I do believe in this day and age we have evolved. And because that's one of those terms that's out there now, emotional intelligence. That's out there now. It's a new term that's being passed around, and I think we're digging more into it. So I believe maybe the generations, a couple under me, may be at that place where they can handle an emotional partner on both sides. On both sides.
Okay.
Okay.
We back. Were y'all able to hear each other? So true story, you guys. Before this meeting started, around 7 CST time, the AT&T guy came knocking on the door saying there's fiber optics in the neighborhood, and did we want to
Mm-hmm.
upgrade? And now all of a sudden, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
So what was her question?
gotcha.
What was your question, Vaughn? Oh, what's the question?
No, it's next question.
Oh, next question. Oh, I'm sorry. Um,
It's on you.
so ultimately, Mr. Turner, aka
Mhm.
Deuce, what do you ultimately want people to take away from your journey and your work? Not just from skits, not just from acting. What do you want people to remember or take away from your life? Like if you could leave when you leave your legacy, what would your legacy look like? What would that be?
Good question. So legacy to me is I want to be able to leave behind an infrastructure, something that creates pathways for people who normally wouldn't have access to the industry, access to business, access to whatever. My legacy is sparking the next eight-page Turner. My legacy is again leaving something behind well after I transition off this planet. So I just want people to know that, I get my series out there, it's successful, and then next thing you know, somebody else follows behind me, right? I mean, that's what it's about. I'm the first African American to reach the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 5, right? So it took a village to get me there. But now when I look back, I think it's going on number 5 or number 6. So, I'm a trailblazer and I created a lane for people to succeed and achieve that rank. And I want to do the same thing in the entertainment industry.
Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get to you to comments from people in the audience. If you drop your comments, sorry, drop your questions. We'd be happy to get to them. I do have a bonus question for you. What
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give someone like me who is actively pursuing and revisiting dreams of becoming an actress at 48? What advice would you give to someone like little old me?
Okay, so I got to ask you a question real quick. What does 48 mean? What that got to do with anything?
Nothing.
Absolutely
Nothing at
nothing.
Hmm.
all.
So age don't mean anything. And there's a lot of people who got put on or got discovered late in age. Steve Harvey, you got Bernie Mac was like, up in age. So it's just so many entertainers. So age don't have anything to do with it, right? It's God's timing. So whenever
Yes.
he decides it's ready for you to have it, you will have it. So if that dream of writing and that dream is still speaking to you, that tells me that God is telling you to get it, to get it stepping, right? Stop waiting. That's your goal, that's your purpose, and you keep going. And once you get on your goals and once you get on his purpose for you, no weapon formed against you will ever prosper, right? And you're
Amen.
always going to have hurdles. You're always going to have, you know, success is not a highway in Florida. And what that means is it's not smooth. The lines going down the side ain't perfect. There's no such thing, right? So those potholes, those broken glass on the roads, the breakdowns on the road is all there to build you up to be what God put you on this planet to be, right? So the timing may changes, but purpose does never expire. So my advice to you is never stop. Praise God. There's no such thing as failure. It's only learning. It's only failure when you quit. So as long as you're still moving towards your purpose, your goal, God will get you to that finish line. But he needs you to take those scrapes. He needs you to take those
Mm.
bumps. So when you get to the end of your journey and you at that finish line and you turn back around and you look at that road, it's gonna look like that smooth road in Florida because you made it, right?
Amen.
So don't ever stop what God has purpose for you, because there's nothing worse than being on your deathbed saying I coulda, woulda, shoulda. That is, I think that is worse than any death that you can have, knowing that you should have did something and your time is expiring and you didn't. Keep going. That nose get punched, wipe the blood off, and keep it moving.
Ah,
Mm.
thank you, thank you. Well,
Mm.
nothing else to be. Look, microphone drop. Thank you so much
Okay.
for.
Yes, ma'am.
Because a lot of times when
Exactly.
you're older in this game, like it's and I sometimes you have to hear it for yourself. You can tell everybody else good advice. You can tell everybody else reach their dreams, but sometimes it's Vaughn is my witness. She has been one of those people in my life this year that have really her Deontay reviews. They have really like pushed me and like I thought 30 years ago. You think in your mind that it's over or it's too late, and this year it's just God has opened so many doors and even just giving you a platform to be able to express your creativity in the different levels to you is it's an amazing thing. So, and I
It
thank you so much for blessing me with your presence in this interview, and then throughout the technical difficulties, still hanging in there. I really appreciate it.
Oh no, man! God don't give it to you
Cool
easy. He just
soldier.
give it to you, and He had you figure it out. But I
Yeah.
tell you this: the Emancipation of Limits would not be here today if I didn't join the military, do 28 years. I've been in every conflict that the United States had since 1990. I've been in the Middle East. I've been in Africa. I've been in so many different wars and so many conflicts and so many seeing, soldiers don't make it home,
Mhm.
right? So all of that stuff at 28 years of seeing that PTSD and all this other stuff that I got, I needed all of that to make the Emancipation of Limits. So
Mm.
you just thinking 30 years of that just to this book. And then from the book to a script, and then from a script to a film. So God gives it to you throughout your life and then say, okay, now move. And you
Yeah.
move.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. And I hope that when
Hey,
we look, when we have fiber optics or a better system here, that you would definitely come back one day. This has been an wonderful experience, and just to take and guys, everyone who's coming on who may be a fan of the country Wayne world of Skitland or whatever, this is the beauty of it. We're not just watching, like blanket skits or people. These people, they have lives outside, and
Mm.
I have to say it. The thing that Country Wayne has built, and I've been watching since 2019, and I think that's when he first kind of started this Skitland journey or what have you. There's so much depth to each one of the characters and so much to learn from and to know that behind the scenes these different characters have this level of depth. So what you see on the screen, whether it's him coming from prison to come home to try to help his family, it's like I was telling Vaughn earlier, I was like, this character is different. I know he's portraying this
mhm.
character, but who is the man behind this character? And this
Mm.
is the perfect example. Same thing when it comes to the Diesel character. They have outside lives that are just as deep and just as much depth as their characters are in Skitland. So I thank you so much. I hope that we're able to do this again
We
on
will.
another level and just not just an interview format, but just to sit down and just talk about the issues that we're facing um, in life in America, and just for our people to think different and take things to a different level in our lives and take charge of our lives and take the seat, sit at the table that we're supposed to sit at and that we have worked hard to sit at, and then make those decisions and not
Amen.
just take anything anyone
Mhm.
has to give us, but
Mm.
understand that be in that boardroom. I never forget when I was 33 years old, I worked for this big corporate company,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the only black girl in there, and I was in a room full of old white men in their 50s and 60s. True story. And I felt so out of place. And if I could get back to be that woman that I was, the woman I am now, still, been through some hurdles and stuff in life, I would have sat in that war room a lot differently. And they used to call it, the war room when different things happen and
Mhm.
you having issues in the
Mhm.
company. There you go. Okay, we got your back. And so when
Okay.
we would be in that room, I would have felt so differently instead of feeling intimidated because I was in that room for a reason. My resume got me in that room, but instead I was nervous and I felt intimidated. And I just
Okay.
pray to God that my prayer now is for God, if He put me in a room full of great people, that I know who I am in that room.
Mm. That's great. That's great.
Amen.
God is
Amen.
a good God, and God, He gonna put you where you need to be when you need to be there, right? And I'm gonna
Man,
tell
yeah.
you, growing up in the military, I seen so much stuff, and so many people leave this earth. I never was like, I was always a believer, but it was just like, man, like what is the purpose of life if it can just get rubbed out? If you got kids coming in 19, 20 years old committing suicide. And the army then had a statistics of one person in the army committed suicide every day.
Wow.
And I seen a young lady, she blew her head off in front of everybody, and she had two toddlers. And
Mm.
it just made me think, like, man, like what the like man, they say, God is never wrong, but it's like what is happening here? And when I get out the military and I decompressed on everything that I've seen and witnessed, and I had to reconnect with God on, a different type of level. Because in the military, you just see so much. You just like, it is what it is. You have to put in your mindset that, hey, I might not come home. And you just depend on the person that's next to you instead of the Almighty. And I had to reconnect and reestablish my relationship with him. But since I've been writing, since I've been creating, he has shown me that he is a true God and he is a living God and he'll never leave you.
Amen.
Nor
Yeah.
forsake
And,
you. Amen. Come
and
on
you hit
now.
on something. I don't want to keep you too long, so you let me know if I
Oh
am. But
man, we
you
good money. Let's do it.
okay? Well, you said something that hit that's true to my heart, and I think that a lot of black men don't talk about it and they suffer. I feel like black men suffer in silence,
100%.
and sometimes even black women. And I think we don't talk about suicide enough in the black community. We tell people to pray about it. We tell people to get over it. But when you're at that point where you really don't feel like, how am I going to survive? Or is my life worth surviving? It's like people don't understand like that feeling. And we don't talk. How do you feel about, do you feel like we talk about it? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we just don't talk about suicide enough in the black community.
We don't. And let me share some light on you to this, right? And let's talk about relationships. Now,
Mm-hmm.
black men commit suicide over relationships way more than black women. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when black women go through something with a man, they have a village. You guys have your
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends and they will take you out of whatever rut that you are in. We don't have that, right? Because most men feel if I go to my boy and say, yo, man, my girl hurt me and she did this, you very rarely embrace with open arms. You usually embrace with ridicule and like, oh man, you weak, you let her
Mm.
do this, and so on and so forth. So to avoid that, we keep things inside and we internalize it. And when men go through heartbreak, it's more devastating to a man than women. So people think it's the opposite way because you're emotional beings. But if you look at things differently, so me and you break up, right? I'm probably in the club the next week. You
Mm-hmm.
down and out. Your girlfriends is picking you up, taking you out. Girl, let's go on a vacation. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
3 months later, you back on your feet. You good. Your girlfriend's got you. The man is out. Right. All that adrenaline that he normally had in the
Yep.
beginning after the backup to get him back out there is spent. Now he's in his own thoughts of what he lost. And please don't let him see you walking with another man. And if you don't think men measure each other up, we do. We
Yep.
do. We know when you
Mm.
upgraded, right?
Yep.
So if we feel that, oh man, that is like the most terrible feeling in the world because men have been rejected since grade school. And this is funny, but it's actual fact, right? We in school, you see a girl you like, maybe second grade, you might slide her a note. Do you like me? Yes or no? You circle yes, and y'all kicking it. You come to
Check the
school the
box.
next day,
Yeah.
and she with your best friend, right? As silly and simple as it is, we experience rejection at an early age, and we
Yep.
build that wall up at an early age to not show emotions, not let her know that I like her. Because when we show a little girl that we like her, we don't express it by, hey, I like you. We probably kicking at you, punching you,
Yep.
doing
Yep.
things, but we don't know how to release that emotion.
Yep. My
And
first
so,
bro- my first broke collarbone was from a boy who liked me. He
Mm.
pushed me on the swings and pushed me off, and I broke my collarbone. Yep.
yeah.
Can I ask
So
a
so
question?
we're taught at an early age to suppress our emotions because we don't want to be hurt, and we don't want us to be hurt in front of our friends because ridicule will come with that. So just think from that age all the way up to your teenage years, you're experiencing heartbreak and you just swallowing it and you keep moving on and so on and so forth. So when you get to that age of a man and you experienced all this heartbreak, you experienced all these things and you internalize it, and normally it puts you in a dark place.
Vaughn.
Mm. No, I wanted with you mentioned that with women, the girlfriends, they got the
I
village,
can't hear
and
her.
in
What
three
she
months
say?
they good. But from what I kind of see too from that. With men, they move very quickly. Like where a woman, you may see her 3 months later with a new good dude, but with a man, most times you see them within a couple of weeks with a new somebody.
I'm gonna go back out and come back in.
So are they using? Do men use that, y'all? We frozen, y'all. Can chat if you can hear me? Put a one in the chat, please.
Mm.
You back, Deuce, but Riri is frozen. Can y'all hear me? Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
You guys frozen.
I'm gonna go out and
Or
come
the
back in.
PlayStation.
No, they can hear me. Can you hear
Okay,
me,
now
Deuce?
I can hear you.
Okay.
You back?
I didn't hear
Okay.
what you said, but what's the cliff notes?
She was saying that
None of it.
the I'm sorry, y'all. She was saying that men, we may see them in 2 weeks with somebody versus like you were saying, the woman, you might see us 3 months with somebody. You know, we went through the grieving process, but it seems like the perception is that the man has moved on very quickly.
Well,
And I was
I'm a share some
wondering,
light. If there's gentlemen on here that is watching, if you see a man with somebody and 2 weeks later, he already had her. He already established something with her, right?
Mm,
Yeah, there
amen.
is heartbreak with somebody who you were with for however long. We have to decompress too, right? But normally men try to hop on to the next one to stop the pain from the previous one. So
Mm.
I'm not saying it.
you know what,
They
AT and
they
T
try
gonna be.
AT&T trying to
I'm
make me
so
get
sick
fiber
of them.
optics. That's it. That's all they doing.
AT&T.
We didn't have all
Oh,
these problems before he came knocking on my door.
AT&T tripping.
Come back.
There you go. You came
We
back
can
with the
hear
deep
you.
voice.
We can't see you. We can hear you.
We can hear you though. Yeah, and then he'll be back through tomorrow. That's why he coming back tomorrow, amen.
We definitely
Because
got to do a part two.
we gotta have a part two. We got to
Definitely,
with fiber optics.
because we literally got gypped. AT&T.
Yeah.
Oh boy. No questions in the chat
Okay.
for
He
Deuce.
re-entering. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Drop your questions, you guys. He's coming in on the he's coming back on the other one. Okay, here he is. Hold on a minute. Let me take this other one off. Remove this. Okay, remove this. Hold on, just a minute. Add
Okay.
to stage. Okay, we got two. We got two Mr. Turners on here. Hold on.
Man, if I had another me, the work I can get done.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, Vaughn said we gonna definitely have to have a part two. Whatever we got to do. If I got to get some power, fiber optics, fiber, whatever we got to get.
Yeah.
They set me up. I feel like.
AT&T gypped us tonight.
Yeah, they
No,
It
no,
did.
really
no.
is.
Hey, they just did it so we can do it again. That's all.
Come
Okay,
on now.
for
That's
real.
all. So we got any questions out there?
Oh, I wanted it's not a question, it's actually a comment. It was Siobhan.
Mm-hmm.
She said she has read your book 3 times.
Mm.
So
Mm.
please, everybody, go and get a copy. I told y'all it's a page turner. The
Oh, I
Emancipation
appreciate that.
of Limits. 3 times she's read the book. I'm on chapter 4, Siobhan. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, she said, grab your copy.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Um, these are a lot of comments, not a lot of questions. Joyce said they don't make men like this no more. You talking about Mr.
Oh,
Turner? Men
I
nowadays
appreciate
can't
that.
handle rejection. A lot of them not even
Mm.
approaching women. And that's true.
That is true.
Oh my
Well, I
goodness. What
think
is
I would say two things. Men don't like rejection, right? So if you're
Mm.
sitting over in the corner and you got three of your girlfriends, man, we ain't going over there. You know what I'm saying? We are not going over there, right? Some of us are bold to go in there, but you go in there and you get cut up because we would say you got the woman who you like, You got the woman over there who just got out of her relationship who looking at you crazy. You got the woman that despise you. So we ain't going over there. We gonna wait till you get up, go to the bathroom, and try to talk to you, but we ain't going over there. But
That is.
but I think the way society is, especially with marriage, like people are not getting married in our community anymore, especially black men, because of uh, we lose so much in a divorce, and it's not just financially. And normally, when two things, you want to attack a man in a divorce, you take his kids and his money, you know,
Mm.
and when we're very leery and very careful on, like, man, especially if you're doing really well for yourself, even if you're not, like, you got $5, you got to get somebody 250. You can't even get a Snicker bar and a soda for that, you know.
Definitely not getting
So
no gas.
yeah, you definitely ain't getting no gas. Yeah, hey, you got them Hokas on or whatever them shoes are, but it's just a challenging time, and I think that when you look through social media, when you look at men who's wealthy and they getting tore up in court, nobody wants to take that risk. And men are going to lead with a prenuptial agreement. Some women going to agree to it, some women are not. So it's just a challenging time. And I think when you just can't depend on love in a relationship. You have to build businesses with your mate and make it like you so close knit. If we just loved each other, but we didn't have like a daycare together, we didn't own houses together, we didn't have things that preoccupy our time as a unit, and I can marry you, but that don't mean I like you, which is wrong. I want my wife to be my best friend. You
I
know,
was
I
just
want
about to
my
say
yeah, I
that.
want my wife
Absolutely.
to be my best friend. I want my wife to go, hey
Yep.
man, let's go test drive cars we can't afford just to get out the house, right? And she like, hey, I got
Yeah.
this
Absolutely.
movie, this Tyler Perry movie I want to see, and if I don't like his chick flicks, what we call them, I'm gonna go because you want to go because that's what friends
Yeah.
do. I'm gonna support
Yep.
you. So in
Yes.
relationships, you have to be friends first. You got to
Yeah.
stand that person because
Yeah.
if you friends, you
I
build
was
that
just about to
foundation.
say that because
Hmm.
people are
Can I
not
ask
friends
a
anymore. I'm sorry.
question?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, Riri. This is your interview. I just wanted Mr. Turner to address the second part of what Joy was saying. How do you feel about now women are bold and they approach men, they even proposing now, marriage. How do you feel about that?
I don't. I wouldn't want a
Do that.
woman asking me to marry
Propose.
her. That's my job, right?
Mm-mm.
But approaching a
Mm-mm.
man, I have no issues with that. Because, like I said, we live in the times where men are very cautious about
Yeah.
who they approach, the cancel culture, and losing everything. So I'm a firm believer of if my grandfather used to tell me the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? And I remember so many times when I was afraid to approach women, I just stare in your face all day. And then when you disappear, I'd be so mad at myself. Like, damn, I should have said something because you just never know what would have ended up. And I think it's the same thing for women. You don't have to, you can throw those subtle hints, and I'm gonna tell you right now, most men are dumb. We don't. You have to like come to us and go, hey, I'd like to speak with you. But if you trying to look and smile and do your hair, why no, we ain't. That ain't enough nowadays,
Right.
right? Because we just don't pick up a lot of the subtle like hints that you would
Mm-mm.
give us for make us to prompt us to come over and talk to you. So if you see, a gentleman that you like, that you're attracted to, and you want to know what else he got going on, is he a protector? Is he emotionally intelligent? Get on over there because black women are the most unwedded race,
Yeah.
and we may need you to kind of like step it up a little bit and just you know what's your name? What's your sign? You just never know. But no, I'm a fan of it, and it makes it easier for the man who's not, who's shy, or who don't have like game.
Yeah. I did it once in my life. Like I've been shy. My people don't believe it because even in
We lost Riri. We hello, ma'am.
Yep, Riri gone.
AT&T attacks again. AT&T attacks again. Let me she'll come back, y'all. She'll be back. Let me read some of the comments until she comes back.
Okay.
Well, if you can hear us, Riri, Charlene say you're looking beautiful tonight.
Yeah, very nice
Riri,
colors. I
she
told her
said
that.
you look beautiful. She does. She looks very.
Yeah,
Okay, she
You
back.
back, Riri?
I'm back. No, I said God must have want me to tell that story about when I approached somebody one time. But
Go ahead. Try it again.
but it was after I really truly feel like as a woman, I don't know if it's the same for men, and you can tell me if it's true or not. But I really didn't identify with who I was until after
Oh,
You really don't want her to get that out.
yeah, God wanted to keep that one.
I would give AT&T a phone call. I'm not kidding. Let's see what else we got here. I don't want to move forward because I know Riri got a lot. So I'm going to just go to the comments and see what we got there.
What we got?
Gwen Taylor says she's feeling like her marriage is on edge
Mm-hmm.
and she now has a roadblock up to be with, I think you're trying to say any man. I think you were talking about uh we were talking about suicide and stuff amongst black men and women, and you talked
Okay,
about
she's back.
Riri, you back.
I said God don't want me to tell that story, so I'm gonna be quiet. We'll do that on the part two when we
Yeah.
I
resume the
can't hear
part two.
nobody. I
Okay.
think I'm going out and coming back in.
I
I
don't know.
said
It's a lot going on in
God,
the
hey,
atmosphere.
God take the wheel.
And drive.
okay, please take the wheel. Oh, can you hear me
We
now?
lost
Okay.
Turtle. We lost Duke.
No, he's still there. He probably just about to come back in. I'm taking the AT&T dude set me up. My mom is a
It's
witness in my
something
son.
going on. It got to be something
Yeah, they
going on.
set me. The AT&T set me up for failure. Now, but it was a beautiful. We're gonna do a part two to this. We got to do
Oh,
a.
absolutely.
Yeah, this
Absolutely.
this was a good one, especially at the end. So yes,
And
we
I'm
definitely got to do a part
surprised
two.
no one had any questions for Deuce. Come on. Y'all, the skits. What about the skits? I mean, we should
Okay, he
have a
coming back.
lot of
He back.
questions for Deuce.
But the dialogue, sometimes when the dialogue just flow like that, it's a beautiful thing, you know.
That's true. That's true too. Joy
I'm finna,
says we gonna have to boycott AT&T.
I'm telling you, the little man. I'm telling you, before the thing, I said I have a lot.
He back.
Hey, as soon as I come back, she gets
What's
stuck.
going on with you and Riri? You come back, Riri leaves. Riri comes back, then you leave. What is really going on tonight? Joy said we're gonna boycott AT&T.
Yeah, I actually got AT&T service, and man, this I never seen it act up like this. So
I don't know. Let me ask you a question,
He kicking me
military.
out.
Just
It's too
just
many
passing time.
things
She
that
back.
AT&T messing with us.
I have Comcast. I don't have AT&T.
so what's your question?
You got some more questions, Riri?
Oh, we back. I was telling my son to turn off the.
Lord have mercy.
You know what? With StreamYard, you really have to what you call it, direct connect a lot
Mm,
of times so you don't get that interference.
yeah.
Yeah, let me see if there's any more oh, I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
I heard when I don't know if we're really at a war now. I'm hearing rumors of wars, but I do hear when we're at war
Mm-hmm.
that there's a interference in the atmosphere with stuff like this, like the Wi-Fi and all. Is that true?
Well, yes and no, right? It's so we got allies and we got enemies, right? So one of United States allies is Israel, right? As we all know,
Mm,
we're in bed with Israel. We're funding their wars or whatever. But at the same time, even though they're our allies, they hack us,
Mm,
right? They want to get
right.
information just in case, right? So We're like
Mm-hmm.
that, that best friend that they kind of hating on you a little bit. So we're gonna
Got
we're
you.
gonna we're gonna prep it just in case if we go head up, we got something. So
I
it
know.
happens all the time. China is hacking our systems. You got Israel doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
the people who we are enemies with, and this is an everyday thing, right? So Russia got involved in the election with
Right.
uh,
Right.
yeah, the election with Trump. So yeah, 100%. It just happens. So it happens more when we're at conflict. But Iran don't have the capabilities to
Oh,
to
okay.
to
I
do
got
it.
you.
You know what I'm saying? But other country does.
You have a question in the comments, Riri.
Yes. What type of challenges have you faced while doing the skits?
Um. So I would say this, and this is I think for me, because I'm the only one that comes out of town. So everybody else is in Atlanta. Whenever they say, hey, we're going to do skits, I usually fly in. And sometimes one of the challenges I have, if they say, hey, we're going to push it back or we're going to cancel it this week, it really kind of throws me off because I'm balancing a 9 to 5 because I got to work my 9 to 5 to
Mm.
fuel the dream, right? So, that's a challenge. And I would say, there is nothing. So when you hear the Country Wayne skits, they give you the treatment. So they tell you, hey, this is what's going on in this scene. This is what's happening, and so on and so forth. So you don't have written scripts, right? A lot of
Mm.
people don't know that. You freestyling, going back and forth. And if you're not good at ad libbing or coming off the dome with going back and forth, that could be really challenging. So when I got into acting, I'm used to reading the script, and you go by the script, and you know where you're
Mm-hmm.
standing, and so on and so forth. So with the Country Wayne skits, you are like you just freestyling, going back and forth, and you're trying to stay within the realms of what they're telling you what that story is about.
Okay.
All
But
right.
we never noticed it if you were like it always flowed naturally. I do have a question. Okay, I have a skit question. What is your favorite skit playing the role as Deuce, and what was your least favorite skit and why?
I would say my favorites. Well, I got two. So my number one favorite skit is the first skits I did, being in prison, right? But the best skit is when I knocked out Trap. That was like the actual best skit. The least favorite skit, I would say, with my character when they have me doing things that just don't sync to what Deuce is. And I know that the writers are in the comments, so they look at the comments and they say, "Hey, they believe Deuce is going to do this, so let's do this." And they try to throw everybody off and
Mm.
keep it guessing, but sometimes it throws off my character, right? So I'm fresh out of prison. I don't have a dime in my pocket, and I'm telling people this is my house. Like, what sense does that make? I'm like, man, that makes absolutely no sense to me. But that's what's written. You're an actor. You do what the producers and the director tell you, and you execute. Even though I don't necessarily like it, but I would say I didn't like when they did that. It seems like every time I would get some traction to like really show who this character is and who he could be to Easy. That was another good skit I liked when he sat down with Easy and basically was like, "Listen,
Mm-hmm.
you born looking like your parents, but you died looking like your decisions, and we need to
That was
like."
powerful.
Mm.
Yeah, and my grandfather used to tell me that.
Bars.
So that was just something that once they gave me the treatment, I sat back and thought how I'm going to approach this and how I mentored soldiers like coming in the military. And and that's a true fact. So to sit him down and getting my son back because he believed that I was this rat, and he didn't, he was following the street code. Deuce was done with the street code. And Deuce, like, look, if this dude killed a black woman and I got to tell on him just so I can get back to my family, then it's told, you know what I'm saying? And call me a rat, right? So
Mm.
I loved it when they gave my character to Reigns to be that mentor and that dad to Melissa and Easy.
Okay. We lost Riri again.
Ooh, this thing is
Let
doing
me
a
see if any
number.
more questions in here. I know, right? I
So
mean,
they got
that mean
me.
it's
I
good.
can't hear you. If you can hear me, this is crazy.
I hear you. You can't hear me? You can't hear
Okay,
me?
there she go.
Yes, this thing is, oh my God, this is killing me. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's better now because I see everybody good
Yeah, I
now.
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Hello, 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 hello.
I hear you, Riri.
Is it me? You
Mm-mm.
okay?
Let me go back out and come back in. Lord have mercy.
This is crazy.
It is,
Can
and
you hear
and every
me?
time it gets good, it's like it'll kick us out.
Yeah.
But we definitely gonna have to do a part two to this because it was so insightful. Like seriously. Oh my God. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, he frozen. That AT&T is doing a number tonight. Can you hear me, Riri?
Oh. Yeah, I had to push mute. There are people in the background.
Oh, okay.
I think
It's
after
another
this one, we'll
question.
wrap it
Let's
up and
see.
we'll just have to do. We'll do a part. We gonna have to do it. We definitely gonna have to do a part two.
Yeah. Take that last question, then we can end it in the
Yeah.
chat.
What's the last question?
Since playing Deuce, do you feel
Oh, that's a
like you
good one.
made? Yeah, I guess he'll come
Oh,
back.
that's a good one. Yeah, here you
Yeah.
come. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing you back on, Deuce. Okay. Okay.
All right, there
There
I
we go.
am. Okay, what's the question?
Okay. So it says, since playing Deuce, do you feel you had an impact on some of the younger male actors, or how do you feel you may have made a impact on the younger male actors?
Oh, I would say 100%. And I tell you, somebody who really took to me and we really kind of bonded was Trill. A lot of people look at Trill, the gold teeth, the rapper. You know, that dude is he got a master's degree,
He's a
and
Kappa,
Mm,
right?
I believe it.
yeah, he's a Kappa. He got a degree, very very intelligent. So to talk to him off camera and all that, cause they shouty, that's not him. He's a
Hmm.
very intelligent, and I did a lot of mentoring with Trill. I did a lot of talk with Easy, talk to J Mo. Um, really good guys, and they just want to, be better every day. So, they knew that I'm doing, my own production and doing this and that, and talking to them and building. Um, but I really took a liking to Trill. I think Trill's a really good dude. Trill used to bring flowers to all the ladies on set. Every time we met up, he bought flowers, and he passed out flowers. And you would never believe or see that with his character on the
Mm-mm.
skits. But Trill is a good dude. Um, I would say the realest person that if I had to choose somebody to rob a bank with, it would be Hollywood.
Mm.
Hollywood is a really, really good person from New Jersey, uh, from the project. She lived around black people her whole life. Really down to earth, really good person to talk to, very professional, always on time. Um, she's good. Doo Doo's the same way. You tell Doodoo, hey, we got to be here at 3:30. Doodoo's there at 3 o'clock, waiting, setting up, learning. Um, we had some really good people on those skits that I hope to build a long lasting relationship and incorporate them into what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Let me ask who is actually related, because I know in the Country Rain brand, especially in his earlier stuff, a lot of times he utilized real family, like
Hmm.
Phil and Ashley. Actually, that's their daughter. Parker's their daughter for real.
Yeah.
And I know his later stuff, it hasn't been so much. So within your storyline, we lost him. Can you hear me? We in and out. Maybe we should call it a night, because we not get, every time it get good, we get cut.
I know, right? I know, right? So when he comes back on, we'll do a formal outro, and we definitely gonna redo this.
Yeah,
We can come to your platform, Vaughn, or we can go to Mr. Turner's platform, because I definitely feel like the good stuff, the internet's tripping. So
yeah,
that man sabotaged me. I'm telling you what I know.
he did
I'm telling you
something.
what I know. He sabotaged me. But this was a very, 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 very good conversation and dialogue.
Thanks everybody for
Oh,
your
there you go.
patience.
There you go. Hold
Hanging in
on. We gonna do a formal outro.
there.
Um,
Okay,
Are we there?
we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely
okay,
do.
dude.
We just gonna change the date
Yeah.
of that flyer, and we gonna make it happen.
Amen. A part two. A part two. Thank you so much for coming out, Mr. A. Page Turner, Richard Turner, aka Deuce. We really
Dude.
appreciate you, and I can't wait till the part two. The part two, we gonna have fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, give me the date and time, and I'm there.
Okay. All right, everyone. Good night. We'll be as normal. We'll be dropping some clips from this live today, and we just thank you so much for sharing a piece of your world with us. Anything else you
Thank you,
want to say,
Mr.
Vaughn?
Turner. Just want to say thank you again. Thank you for your service to everyone. Go
Yes.
get that book. I'm telling you,
Book.
it's
Get the
worth it. I
book.
know everybody promote books. This book is the real deal. It takes me back to Terry McMillan and all of them when the book club was popular, and when you sat down on your lunch break, in between break, when you got home in the car reading this book. This is an awesome, awesome book. And not because he in my face, it's because it's real.
Yep. And in that clip, if you guys have not seen the clip of the Emancipation of Limits, it is good. I mean, I was like this. I was like, I'm just waiting to see what happens next and the full picture of it all. And look, if you need some extras, holler at me. But
Hey, let's. Hey, definitely do. And people
and how
know.
would you like to close us out, Mr. Turner?
Hey, I want to say, hey, yeah, get the book. It is a very good read. I wrote it to the point to where you'll be a fly on the wall, and you'll be able to vividly see these scenes. And now that you know me, now that you watch the trailer, you will put characters, faces in those books. When you read it, you're going to hear my voice. So, follow me on Deuce Unchained. That's my Facebook handle. My IG handle is A Page Turner. I'm gonna start introducing more Emancipation of Limits stuff on my Deuce Unchained. I appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody, um, tuning in, following me, and hey, we're a family now. So
Yep.
we're a family.
Thank
Definitely,
So
you.
I'm
definitely.
here for you. Anything you need from me, I'm here. You got my number. Hit
Thank
me
you.
up, and I'll be there. But hey, peace to everybody. Peace to the melanated. I love you, and we doing this again. Stay tuned for part two.
Okay. Love you all. Bye
Hey,
bye.
Paige Turner, aka Deuce, in the building.
Deuce.
Thank you.
All right.
Look, guys, I'm trying to exit.
I can't get out. You got me trapped.
Look now, it's been kicking us out all night, and now I don't want.
Now I don't want to go.